Welcome again, new and returning. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Our techno wizard Donbro has been sweating profusely for the last 15 minutes because we're changed from one broadcasting system to the other. So, thank you very much, Donbro.
It's fine. I can't wait for my paycheck.
Panic-inducing. So, thank you for bearing with us. That's very good.
Yeah, thanks.
Run through the usual admin of, as ever, please follow us here at twitch.tv/SavioursDnD. Also, our Twitter and our YouTube that are linked below if you haven't done so already. We'd be very grateful for any support. So bits and subscriptions and donations and anyone that does help followers as well, we will read out at the end of the stream. We also have a sponsor for the stream, Libris Arcana. And if you use the code SAVIOURS at the checkout, you'll get 25% off your first month of their dice subscription. But that does also come that there's no contract, so you can cancel it even after just a single month if you so wish.
I think, actually, not to cut you off, Scott, I think as well during the week they were saying that due to inflation and stuff that their prices in the future are going to have to go up, essentially.
That's correct, but they'll be keeping subscription prices at the same rate for the near future. Anyway.
But if you were ever considering getting dice or anything like that, with that code you get 25% off of the lower price, I think, for at least the next week. So if you're going to do it, that would
do it sooner rather than later.
Yeah. Sooner rather than later. I don't think it's going to be going up a huge amount, but still, you know.
No, absolutely. Things in life go up as far as price is concerned. That's unfortunate.
Don't say that with terror.
No.
I was just going to add.
No, don't add anything, Terror. I'm talking over you.
If you're watching this on YouTube, hit the bell.
Oh yes, sorry, I always forget that. Apologies.
And also, if you want to watch us live, down there, there's a Twitch link. So hit the link, you sexy twink.
You should have cut him off sooner.
Yeah,
should have cut him off sooner.
We were right the first time.
Yeah, that was almost good.
Almost.
Yeah.
Almost.
Well, you're seeing as you're talking, Terror. Why don't you introduce yourself and your character?
I play Mara Clearwater, a human cleric, a Joaquin, goddess of trade, and yeah, she looks. I don't know. She has. I haven't done the description in a long while. She has sort of blondish brown hair, yellowish eyes, about average height, and I forgot what the name for the framing was, but yeah, sorry, never mind.
Okay. I thought you were just going to take the whole stream describing your character. It's okay.
Her nose curved, you know.
Mr. Jabberwocky, the new to the group character.
Yes, I am Jabberwocky, and I play the newly introduced monk named Scale. Scale is a nautical adventurer who is tasked with taking the group to Luskin once they are finished with their errands.
Indeed. Mr. Emeros and Cyric. I can't get Cyric and Cyric mixed up anymore.
No.
I changed the name.
I just managed it.
That's
anyway, that's impressive.
Habit. All right. Hello, I'm Emeros, and I play Cyric, who is a yuan-ti snake man. He does nature spells and warlock stuff.
and his name is it's like a 7-year-old explaining the project to you.
Yeah.
I'm really tired today.
I'm really tired. I'm really tired. Not hungover, tired.
No.
And last but no means least, Mr. Donbro.
I'm Donbro, and I play Alton. He is a little gnomish bard, and he is from the Fey realms, so he sort of finds, in general, just general life strange in this place. But yeah, he's super fun to play. He's mute, and he speaks through a white raven who sits on his shoulder, usually, called Quill. So anytime you hear him speaking or casting spells, it will be through Quill, through the white raven. Indeed. Oh, also, just for people who are watching, we've done some stream changes. if you are to follow, donate, or subscribe or anything like that, you will now get a little silent notification will pop up on the screen. And as you can probably see, we have the jar there as well. We've been trying to get that sorted for the longest time, and I was lazy, but it's fixed now. So there you go. It's done now.
Laziness.
We'll still shout you out at the end of the stream anyway. So.
Indeed.
Welcome.
Welcome indeed. Quick we recap. So last week we were travelling with the party as they exited the Underdark after dealing with the Silken Woe as encampment one way, a slightly different way than expected, coming to, let's say, a gentleman's agreement for both parties to retreat. And other than encountering a couple or three Umber Hulks, which they dispatched, the return journey was somewhat quiet. And indeed, the waiting bone claw that they expected was nowhere to be seen at that point as well, and their exit was completely unremarkable. They went back to the captain of the guard and explained what had transpired whilst they were away, and he sent them to the harbour with an introduction to Jabber's new character, the aforementioned Scale, who is sitting on a boat called the Storm Petrel, who she commands. And as we start, these introductions have just happened. Alton has been embarrassed somewhat by Garvin, explaining that he's burnt down the local temple, to which he teleported to the top of the mast. Spent a bit of time there. And I think Scale attempted to throw him in the water, but Featherfall and use of his raven managed to stop him getting wet. And I think that's where we start. We are, as it shows, sat on the harbour wall, a light breeze bringing some small rollers in. The Storm Petrel is well moored at the side of the harbour where the dredge channel is, and it's getting on towards sort of mid to late afternoon now. The party you're all probably getting very tired now because you exited the Underdark first thing in the morning. You chose to try and keep going for the day so you didn't get jet lag, so to speak. So I think you're all sort of flagging a little bit, but is there anything anyone is particularly wanting to do? Are you going to invite your newly met companion with you?
I think last week Mara did.
Yeah. Afterwards, she rescinded the invitation. No.
Sorry, that's fine. That's me misremembering. Sorry.
And
so, were you planning just to go straight back to the toll booth or somewhere else?
I think Jabber's in a dream. He's really blurry. There we are.
Yeah, the connection. But I think before we leave the docks, Scale will give out some money to her two boat workers and just be like, all right, we'll be in touch. Stay in the dock area. I know where to find you. And just sends them out to the wild.
Mm-hmm.
Can I just get a brief description of her of her crew? Yeah. Yeah.
So it's two people, two young, kind of scraggy, scrawny looking, looks like teens, mid to high teens. They look underfed, but like kind of like lithe, like kind of like muscly just from all the work.
Wiry.
She picked them up from the streets, and they still look like they were picked up from the streets, but they're not like gaunt. They're just thin due to malnourishment as a child.
Lithe.
Yeah. But they're tanned. They got the hand callus, the salty hand calluses of boat work, and they're pretty well disciplined. But if you guys pay attention, the moment they run away, they kind of like get a bit happier being away from Scale, just because like they're not at work anymore.
Exactly,
like, being on a boat with your employee, so they scamper off into like an alley somewhere.
Are they humans? Tattoos?
Yes,
Anything like that?
they're both human. They have various tattoos, but they have kind of like that simple clothing that hides most of them. They don't have them on like the hands or the face, but you
You can sort of just see them, just the tops of them protruding at
poking
neck.
out from the neck and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Good. So, does anyone want to stop elsewhere on the route, or are you just going straight to the toll booth to have a meal and go straight to bed? Or
I think Cyric would grab a hold of Mara.
mm-hmm.
Just, I grab her by the shoulder. So, Mara, this is a big city, and I assume it's an easier way to get information from a place like this. I mean, more people, more things to talk about.
Yeah.
Do you remember the company notes, the Dragons company?
Oh yeah, that your sister were part of.
Don't know. Yes, but them. If there were a place where I could get information about them in the city, do you have any sort of knowledge or connections to them?
Should I roll something? Because
roll a history check.
perception. Okay.
No, not perception. I perceive that.
Yeah.
That guy right there. That guy right here. That guy.
That guy has a tattoo. 12.
So, sorry, I was a little bit distracted there. What was it exactly that Cyric cast there again, Emeros? Apologies.
He is looking for a place where he can get information on the Dragons company.
Okay. And
if
you
such
got, again, there?
12.
12. Okay. Well, I think with a 12, you've lightly heard of the Dragons Company. You probably don't know any more than what the party already knows, is that they are a mercenary company. They are not
But can we
fussy.
go somewhere?
They're not fussy about what contracts they take. You know, they wouldn't be perceived as evil, but they, it's like as long as they're being paid what they want paid, they'll pretty much take on any work. All the cities, Neverwinter included, tend to have exchanges that you would go to if you are trying to engage a mercenary company. Now, usually, and this is something you'll know, this isn't based on the role, this is something you just know due to your mercantile background. Usually what will happen when a mercenary company has all or some of its power free to engage in a new contract, they will post that to these exchanges. You know, Luskin probably has one, although it'll not be as good as Neverwinter's, and Neverwinter's likewise won't be quite as good as the one in Waterdeep and Baldur's Gate to the south. But then we usually put to them all, and it will usually give numbers of men or troops that are available, blah, 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 blah. Some of them will limit what type of work they'll take on. So there will be one of those in Neverwinter. And correct me unless I'm wrong, it's something Mara probably doesn't know too much about, because you wouldn't have ever got engaged in, because of the shield coins, you would never have had to have engaged with mercenaries.
That makes sense.
At the most, caravan guards, and that's not the work they take.
No, that wouldn't be mercenary. That would be more adventuring parties like yourself that tend to take on caravan guard stuff. So they may or may not know how to contact them there, and the other thing will be whether the Dragon Company is looking to take work on, whether they have a post at the exchange, the mercenary exchange.
Okay. So I guess I would tell Zurich about that. That basically where the exchange would be, and if there's some type of I don't know, maybe entry fee. I don't know.
Usually, there'll be no entry fee to the exchange, but usually they'll take a cut of any contract from both the person taking the contract and the person, both sides. They butter their bread both sides as far as taking a percentage of the cut.
Shipping and handling.
Yeah, absolutely.
Basically, all right. So,
And you don't know exactly where the exchange is in Neverwinter, but it's somewhere in Protector's Enclave.
Okay.
very well.
So somewhere in there.
Well, I think I would like to go over there and have a look for myself.
I mean, sure. You should probably be able to ask around for directions.
Yeah,
It's somewhere in there.
if you don't mind, would you like to tag along?
I actually want to go to the wizard now.
Very
Mara,
well.
Miss Mara,
Yes, Dalton?
the wizard said she would send for us.
Oh, maybe she did. Well then, let's go to your mercenary work, and then we also need to go to a magic store.
Very well, let's do that then.
Yeah.
Do you, Scales, was it?
Just Scale, no S. No second S.
Sorry. We are off to
Scales.
do some things in the Enclave. Do you and Alton wish to tag along with us? Or
I sort of know that sort of area. I think I'm making this up, but Squid can correct me if I'm wrong. But
Improv, not making up.
Yeah, I have a bit of familiarity with the area, so I don't mind coming along. I mean,
Yeah, because
Scale's
been going backwards and forwards.
mercenary
know
area.
the cities of the Sword Coast as well as Mara does with travel and stuff like that. If not better, some of them.
At least some of the different sides of the city.
Yeah, maybe the black market rather than the white market, shall we say?
Yeah, I'd happy. I think I could probably guide you there if you need help.
that would be most helpful. Thank you.
You, Bird Boy, coming along?
Bird boy.
He doesn't even look at you. He's just sort of. He's actually looking at Sirik now because Sirik was talking last.
Do you wish to tag along, Alton? Or do you want to head back to the inn? Or maybe the market? Maybe we could go there on the way.
No, I'll come. What exactly do you want to do?
I want to see if they have maybe some old contracts, or if the Dragon Company
Okay.
are looking for work right now.
Yeah, I'll come.
Thank you. So I suppose we head off?
Yeah.
Yeah, and where the harbour is in, actually, I'll just move you over to the city map so you can have a look at things. There we go. So that should have updated on Roll20 for you. So, at the moment, the party is over here at the harbour.
Yes.
And this general area here is Protector's Enclave, with the river to the north and the city wall to the south, and the dividing line between the chasm area and the Neverdeath graveyard to the east. And it doesn't take long. You pass under the vast Castle Never into Protector's Enclave, and this is where a lot of the merchant, the actual, where in the Blue Lake district where you have your inn and where Louisa is with the caravan. That's where the the warehousing and things like that is. The actual Prefecture's Enclave is where a lot of the mercantile area is. Mara will know it very well. It's where the major temples are. It's where the Temple of Joaquin once stood. And, you stop a couple of people and are quickly directed to the mercenary exchange on a street just over here. And on the outside, doesn't seem to have a name. There is, it's quite a basic storefront, glass. You can see there's a person behind serving, almost like it was any sort of shop, but it's very bare. There's nothing for sale. It's just someone behind a counter, and there is a very well painted wooden sign that's just got a hammer and shield on it, with no name.
So here it is then.
This would be it.
So, yeah. Well, Zurich doesn't hesitate. He walks up to the door and opens it.
Okay. And inside, you see a old dwarven man, dark hair, starting to go a bit salt and pepper, as some of the white belying his age. Obviously has a military or a mercenary past himself. Very thick set, as most dwarves are, and big, long, straggly beard. Again, going to salt and pepper, with a bit more white in it at the ends. And as he turns to you, you can see that he's only got one eye. One of them has obviously been lost. He's got a horrible, wicked scar that runs from his forehead down across his cheek, and he's obviously taken a blow from some sort of bladed weapon to the face and lost an eye through it. And he turns to you and goes, "What can I be doing for you?"
I'm looking for a mercenary company.
Aye, looking to take out a contract.
Maybe. Looking for a certain one. Special for the job.
Oh, I've used them before, have you? So you're looking to, well, we'll have to see if they're looking for a contract or not.
Have you ever heard of the Dragons Company?
Oh, aye, we think. I've never actually done business with them, but I've seen I've seen contracts come through. Never actually written one up, but that's Maktar Sol's lot, isn't it? Have you dealt with him personally?
Indeed, I have. Is he looking to be hired?
No, it's funny you should mention them. Actually, I've not seen any contracts come through from them for a while. There was a while back, and he sort of has a wee sort of wistful look in his eye, and goes, "It was a few months ago that the whole company was up for hire, which doesn't happen often, because usually they take smaller and they break off into wee pieces and do bits and there, all mercenary companies. But that was taken away. As I say, we didn't do any contracts, so I've no idea what they ended up doing, but somebody contracted the whole company and they've never been looking for work since.
Is that any information you have available? Who they were hired by?
I don't know where they're based or anything, if that's what you mean, if you were looking to go and try and make a direct contact with them, because it just comes on the caravans of no idea where they come from. It's just that motif on their letters, but doesn't have a return address like some of them.
That's too bad. Well, if
Are you sure I can't interest you in one of the other companies?
No, it has to be some company very special, and they are the only ones I know of that can take.
They're not the best out there, though. There's plenty of others.
They have some skills that I need. But
Are you sure?
Certain. Anyway.
How many people are you needing? I'm sure I could come up with another mercenary company that would do just the job for you.
Well, this is personal. So.
Should we go to the other things, Eric?
I suppose we shall. But if you ever get a new notice of them or anything, is there any way for you to... we'll be staying here in the city for a while. If they set up, so...
Well, for a little finder's fee, shall we say, I could make sure that word gets to you if a contract becomes available for them.
That won't be a problem.
He just sort of looks at you blankly as if to say...
Snook just throws out, I don't know, 25 gold.
Jesus.
That's...
We're going to get mugged now.
Yeah.
You're the tourist in a foreign city with the map under the streetlight. We're so fucked here.
Do you just put it in a small thing, sort of chuck it on the table,
Yeah.
and he sort of looks at it for a moment, and his wee single beady eye looks at you, and he just puts his hand across and sweeps it in his other hand, going, "Aye, that should grease the wheels, shall we say? The messengers. Where are you staying? Where should I send a message if word would come?"
No, sure. Takes. Do you have a pen and paper?
Well, aye, and he sort of he puts his hands under the counter and comes up with a rough bit of parchment and a quill and a wee ink pot.
Well, and he writes the tavern.
The moment that Sirik drops that much money, Scale immediately looks at everybody else in the building to see who's eyeing them.
At least there's one person with smarts, because we're all idiots.
There is. I mean, well, everyone can roll a perception check.
I don't think Alton will.
Well, anyone that wants to, obviously, yeah.
I don't think he'd possibly understand that.
Dice. 17.
15.
Sirik doesn't understand these sort of things, sir.
No, absolutely. Yeah. It's a choice. So, Mara and Scale, you do not see anyone. The shop front, it's a very narrow shop front where you are. As I say, there's nothing for sale. The party, if you've all gone inside with Sirik, you pretty much fill up the space in the storefront. Okay. There's a little door behind the counter with a curtain drawn over it, but you don't see anyone else. There might be someone behind there listening, but not that you're not aware of that.
Well, as he asks where they're staying, I think Alton will Quill will sort of pipe up and say, "Do you know magic? Magic means of sending messages?"
Me? No.
What about an associate of yours? That was quite a lot of gold you just got.
These things can be bought.
Well, if you find something out, you can, through magical means, message him directly. Wherever he is.
Yeah, ideally.
Make a persuasion check.
I will.
I'll give you advantage because there's a lot of gold has greased palms.
Yep.
I think the perception was not high enough to hear the feet run out and the door closing. From all the people
22.
And
22.
this group, they might not be in the city for very long. Ideally. So a ranged distance would probably be helpful.
Yeah.
I'm just checking how much spells sort of cost to get.
Third level spell is about 45 gold.
Yeah. And I think he says, I'm more than happy to do that, but I'm afraid that the gold that your friend has given me, whilst very generous, would be less than it would cost me to have such magic cast on my behalf.
Insight.
Yeah, there you go.
Again, let's see. What would that be? 14.
Yeah, he's not lying. He's being quite genuine.
Okay.
And Mara would know that. You know the cost of how much like spells and things cost.
Yeah.
So how much would it cost me?
I'd say another 50 gold.
Very well. Sirik just gives him another purse.
He nods. And he goes, well, seeing as we've got a deal, I like to shake on it and I like to know who I'm dealing with. And he spits in his hand and goes, my name's Valrus Stormbrawn. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Damn dwarf
Sirik.
names. Should have played a dwarf.
Takes his hand.
And he goes, it may never happen, but whilst I'm here, you'll be the first to know if it does.
Thank you very much.
If you free up the wheels of the information,
Did
and you
Sirik
get-
spit it to his hand?
and you get the information
It
to
did
us,
not.
Acid.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Go on, wait,
Sorry.
when someone else is speaking, wait.
when
Sorry.
if you get the information flowing and we receive it, your name will be known far and wide. Of that much we can assure.
And he looks at you and cocks his head and goes, if it's all the same to you, I'd rather my name was just between us. I rather don't want it far and wide.
I think Alton will look at Tamara and say, but I thought business people like their name out there.
Well, he prefers his business more personal than that.
Oh,
Face to face.
Yeah,
okay. Well, we'll
He
come
doesn't-
back and we'll thank you.
that we can.
Well, there's no need. You've paid me up front, but...
Okay, no thank you.
Oh, thank you for the business. And before we leave, you don't happen to have some old contracts of theirs? Do you keep old ones?
Sorry, this is me thinking whether they would or they wouldn't. No. When a contract is withdrawn or because it's been taken on at another exchange in another town, we just tend to burn them. It's... engaging mercenary bands is not the sort of thing people tend to like a paper trail.
Mm.
I understand.
Or certain people, anyway.
I'm gonna insight that.
Yeah, there you go.
That makes sense, though.
11.
Yeah.
What?
And
He seems to be on the up.
yeah, with the money
And
we've handed
actually,
him,
from what Mara and Scale would know if this sort of thing is, it's probably quite standard. Mara,
Yeah,
especially.
yeah,
I think Scales-
The greyer to blacker a business gets, the less and less they bother with
I think Scales,
accounting and
I think
business.
Scales' thought would be that maybe this group in particular might have held on to potential future blackmail, depending on how dark it gets. So we're like, just gonna check that out.
You don't see that he's doing it because he's rough and ready, and he's certainly not adverse to squeezing some extra coins out of a situation. But
yeah.
nothing he's done or said gives anyone with the insight checks that he's a bad person or anything like that.
Yeah.
But he will happily take advantage, but probably not a lot more than that.
This is his retirement, in a sense.
Yeah, he's been injured, quite obviously been injured. So yeah.
Okay, well,
And I think Mara would think that with all the money we've handed him, if he had anything, he would sell it to us.
probably.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thought, to be honest with you. You're
No,
probably
that's
quite
good.
right.
No.
Well, I hope to hear from you soon.
Like I said, it may never happen, but I am a man of my word. I'm a dwarf after all, so aye.
Självlysande uppenbarelse.
Before exiting, Sirik says, "I'll hold you to that," and then he leaves.
A lollipop lady
Yeah.
enters.
Yeah,
Anyway, sorry, Cyric.
Yeah. Sorry.
No,
Yeah.
no,
From the
he
moving
just
them
says,
back.
said to the contractor that, no, I'll hold you to it. And then he leaves.
He doesn't, when just as you say that, he doesn't seem to take that badly at all.
No.
You know, he's
It's
someone
good
that
business.
he's used to dealing with far scarier people than you two, or you people,
It's
on
law.
the face of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's fine.
I do that backwards hand wave as we walk out the door.
Yeah. Shit.
Yeah, I mean, not only that, there are no shelves. There is nothing here. It's just plain wooden walls and the counter and the glass shop front, and that's it.
Well, that's good.
That reminds me. I'm guessing there are other mercantile things around here.
Yeah, I mean, the whole of the Protector's Enclave that's where all the sort of the mercantile business of Neverwinter happens.
Okay.
Other than the sort of inns that are obviously around the various gates, but this is the majority of things like that.
Do I see any clergy at work?
What do you mean by clergy at work? Give me a wee bit more.
Religious people.
My people? We are in the need of money.
No, I understand what clergy are, but are you mean specifically Joaquin? And, you know...
We are in need of money. Our temple burnt down.
Mm-hmm.
It was a long time ago. I sent you that thing that Mara sent them a secret in order to look for money.
No, I understand. Sorry. But yes, absolutely. You do see many of your acolytes going hither and thither. It's not a huge temple, so you don't have like hundreds and hundreds of staff to be doing so, but you definitely see them, and they sort of stop and genuflect to you on the way past.
Excuse me as I Google genuflect.
Sign, like,
Yeah, it's a religious
Wow.
sign. Yeah.
Okay, good. 'Cause I didn't get it.
do the hand, do the physical gesture of Joaquin.
Okay. He didn't do it. Oh, thank God.
No, damn it. Yeah.
That's canon. That's canon now.
Yeah.
Made it canon.
Joaquin's genuflection is a stab. At least it's not the floss dance.
Yeah.
Too much effort.
No, it wouldn't. Or would we? So, thank you for taking me here, Scale.
Yeah, you guys look like death. Do you need to go to sleep or something?
Soon, but we had to get through the day. That's all.
I get.
I need sleep, I think.
Well, we were going to that magic store.
We were.
Okay.
And you know that it's just a couple of streets away. It'll be there tomorrow, so you can choose to go there without much of a detour, or come back tomorrow, whatever the party decides.
I think Alton's he begins like dragging his feet on it, on going there. He's sort of and then he remembers. Oh yes, they might have wands. Yes,
Yes. Good.
we should go there right away.
Yes.
And he starts walking in a direction that's probably wrong.
No, Alton.
Heal.
The gigantic hook.
All right.
All right. Yeah.
The
So we'll go
mom
to
arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one. Far more likely, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Come here.
All right, so magic shop.
Yeah.
Down.
We'll go to the
I-
magic shop.
Mara, I swear to God, if you didn't use this last week to make a list of what you wanted to buy, I will kill you.
No.
I think you're actually addressing Terror and not Mara there,
I don't know what you're talking about.
because you know Mara would make a list.
I know Mara would. If
Checking list, checking it twice.
It's Christmas again. No, we came here because Alton wanted a wand.
Did we get the name of the magic place last week?
No.
we just assumed
Which
Mara
one?
wouldn't know where one was.
You just
Because-
Okay.
you just assumed the Mara thing, but but
Okay.
Mara will know that it is a magical shop called the Adorable Spriggan. That
What is it? The adorable Spriggan.
Yeah.
which is a wee sort of pixie-like creature.
I know. I know what they
Alton would
are.
know what a Spriggan is.
He
That's
does.
probably the one thing Alton knows what it is.
I'm laughing more
Oh,
at
you'd
the.
put him.
Yeah.
It's the
Alton
adorable
probably
is
knows
actually
Spriggans.
the adorable is what's making me sort of the adorable Spriggan. All right. Well, listen. It's the new age shops. Millennials.
Oh no! It comes in. It smells like
Amen.
soaps and yeah.
Selling
called?
crystals.
Okay. All right.
And
Well, let's actually see what it
run,
does.
It's run by a tiefling man called Zeradius Far Sorrow.
Oh yeah, is that from the Fire Sorrows from down the road? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's the Baldur's Gate Far Sorrows that
Yeah.
he's from. Yeah.
Oh, I know their cousin.
While we're at this magic shop, if any of you don't know how to swim or don't know how to deal with water, maybe pick something up. We might be on the water for a couple of 10 days.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
And he sort of looks at his ring.
Just keep
one
an
of
eye out
his
for some
rings.
potions.
Yeah.
Very well. That's a good idea.
Okay.
I said my piece. You guys continue.
So you follow like little ducklings following Mother Duck behind Mara as she sort of wanders the streets and keeping an eye on what's going on. Obviously, it's getting towards the end of the afternoon now, so the sort of the streets are sort of calming down before they get busy again as people go to inns and stuff like that. And you quite quickly, as I say, it was only a couple of streets away, are at the Adorable Spriggan. And initially, it's a shop much like the mercenary exchange you were in, as in a small sort of rectangular frontage with a sign. But this one is different, as it is obviously well decorated. The sign shows a picture of a Spriggan sort of cavorting in a bush, but it's got lovely big sort of anime eyes to make it all adorable.
Sponsored by Pixar.
We sort of shine stars coming out of it. Moon pool sort of eyes. And there are sort of quite big sort of velvet curtains drawn in front of the window. You don't think that this is because it's shutting down, but just to give an air of privacy inside rather than just any old person staring in on the street. They look from outside to be very high quality luxury velvet in a deep dark maroon colour with gold braids coming from the top of it. Almost like what you would see naturally in modern day in a theatre curtain, a traditional theatre curtain, with sort of pelmet across the top, and the gold braiding down the sides.
I think Alden likes this place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We go in.
Yeah.
Open the door, and there's a ding-a-ling, so sort of the classic traditional wee bell that sort of gets knocked as the door opens, and the atmosphere is a little bit cloying. There's obviously some sort of incense being burnt somewhere. It's not dreadful, but depending on what you decide in your character's noses whether they like it or not. I don't mean it's like full, but it's a sort of sweet incense in the back, and you can just see traces of it, sort of wreaths of smoke, just sort of playing in the motes of the two oil lanterns that are either side of the space. Obviously, because of the big heavy curtains, it's very dark in here, meaning that they probably have to have lighting on all time, no matter how bright it is outside.
But it's probably magical lighting.
No, it's not. It's from what you can see, it just looks like oil lanterns. And again, there's a countertop, which is bare itself. Doorway with a curtain that mirrors the same, and there are things on the walls here. There are various potions in locked glass sort of display cabinets, swords, usually more like daggers and short swords or smaller weaponry. There's a hand crossbow, as well as racks of paper and parchment and inks and things like that. And as you sort of look around, a tall ruby red tiefling man comes out with blue horns that sort of sweep round, almost like sort of big thick ram's horns that sort of come round above his ears, and he has almost like sort of pointed elven ears that go over the tops of the horns, so they pass between his ears and his head. Quite tall, elegantly dressed, lovely. He's got a crushed velvet, green crushed velvet suit on, and a little sort of pointy beard, and looks at you and going, "Well, new visitors to my shop. How darling, can I help you?"
Yes, you can probably help me. And Alton will walk forward.
Well, certainly. Aren't you cute as a little button, young man?
Looks down.
Yes, Mara says yes.
I'm not a button, silly. What I do have, and he just picks out a broken wand that essentially blew up half of it. It's all smoke and blasted apart. It was barely together.
Probably time it just looks almost like a broken stick. Pretending to be a wand.
So this has been helpful in the past, but I don't think it's quite safe enough or strong enough for me for what we have to deal with magically.
My, that is appalling workmanship. It's an affront to my eyes. Put it away.
He just throws it behind him.
Where on earth did you get such a disgraceful wand?
Yes, it's appalling.
A goblin had it, Sir said.
Goblin? Goblin can't make wands.
This was a very smart goblin. Very clever.
Apparently not. It blew up.
Well,
It blew up.
I mean, to be fair, it helped us fight the war of Dirk Balakin.
Come now. If you're going to tell me fanciful tales, I've not got time for this pish-posh.
I was told you'd have magic for me.
I've got lots of magic.
Well then, where is it?
What type of magical wand do you want? I don't just put all my good stuff on show.
I want your good stuff.
But what? Tell me. Give me a bit more of a clue. Do you want lightning bolts? Do you want fireballs? Do you want to spray acid at people?
Yes, all of that.
My, I think I'm going to like you, young man.
Oh, thank you. Alton, by the way. This is Quill. This Quill's talking.
He for something, Alton's used to this, like, people doing a double take and, like, talking to the bird and doing, but what about him? He doesn't do that. He just, you get the impression he just understands completely. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Zeradius.
That's a long name.
Not as bad as the Far Sorrow, which is my family name, but I don't tend to tell people that, as it doesn't sound very nice. And I am.
Oh, it sounds
I'm
fancy.
awfully nice.
Yeah, you seem nice.
Well, browse. I'll be back. I shall go and see something that I think may suit you. And he sort of bustles off back into the back of the shop. Anyone doing or saying anything? Well, you can hear him sort of not crashing and banging, but you can hear him rummaging and sort of cases getting opened and closed and locks being opened and closed in the back room.
I mean, I'm gonna check out their potions, see if they're like labeled and stuff.
When you actually go to the counter, you can actually see he's got, what he's done is he's actually put a catalogue of the more common magical items that he tends to always have on stock. So basic potions, basic spell scrolls, things like that. So you can actually just flip through it. It's basically Argos. For those of you, sorry, that was a very specific UK and Ireland reference. It's a shop where it's like a catalogue shop where you just go and look at a book and put a code into the computer and it gets brought to you.
Oh
That
yeah,
sounds
well,
really cool.
IKEA. Shit.
Yeah, it's a lot more low rent than IKEA. But anyway, sorry. I'm glad I made one of you laugh for this with that reference. So,
Okay.
um,
I mean, I don't have any money because we didn't like give my character money when we made them, so like no, anything.
no,
expensive.
I think what to do is if you go into Player's Handbook and give yourself like double the starting money that you normally would as a monk, because you're
God,
not
monk
you're not
starting
level
money is
you're
the
not
worst.
you're not level 1, so
Yeah.
That crew did look mighty skinny.
Can I do a different? Can I do a different class as a starting?
yeah, see, monks aren't about keeping money.
Tomorrow we want to sell some stuff
All right.
Mhm.
Let's do that.
and
now.
identify one thing.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
We are selling a full plate
Oh,
of
no,
fires.
well, wait a sec. Let me. I'm just trying to find the magical items price list thing I've got.
The
So
expensive
sorry. Yeah. So before, because you've not even spoken to him yet. So he comes back out and he goes to Alton and goes, well, I don't know how much in terms of money that you have. So I've brought you sort of a couple of different things. This one, and it's a lovely ebony wand, which you can see it's got etched into it like spiders and spider webs and things. And this is a web of the wand. Sorry, a wand of the web. What it does is it shoots sticky spider webs at people to hold enemies in place.
Sticky boom.
Yeah,
I suppose you could call it that.
it's been a while since we had that. That sounds wrong.
Yeah, no. Also have this. Bear with me. I'm just double checking what it does.
I love that he just started laughing at his mistake. That's fantastic. Sorry. I love D&D for things like that, man. Carry on.
Yeah. And this one it's a similar looking wand, but it's unadorned completely, but it's got a lovely wee sort of silver pommel on the end of it. It's this one, you don't cast spells any more than you're able to already, but what it does is it gives them a slightly more vigor. So if you're attacking someone, it makes them slightly easier to be hit. Or if you are casting a spell where you're trying to take control of someone and they have to overcome their natural abilities, then it makes that slightly harder for them to stop you taking control of them. But only whatever spells you happen to be able to cast yourself already.
I can cast most of them.
Well, this will make them all a wee bit easier for you to cast.
Wow. So, Sticky Boom, Alton Boom.
Well, its proper name is because it's a fairly common item as far as magics are concerned. It's called Wand of the War Mage.
Okay.
And this, and he brings out another one again, sort of ebony, but this one's.
I
got
see these
sort of-
being like large and rolled in felt that he's slowly rolling each wand out as he's
Yes,
standing.
yeah. Absolutely, yeah. I should have said it like that.
Yeah.
That's great. Actually, telling you what it actually is, it's velvet that
Yeah,
mirrors
yeah.
the velvet curtains.
Yeah, nice.
This one
went to the right
is
store.
it's basically a good version of that horrendous item that you had to begin with.
Appalling.
It's a wand of magic missiles, and again, this is a ebony wand, and it's just got slightly small blue bits of the gemstone lapis lazuli sort of entwined into it, and its tip is completely crystal of lapis lazuli.
Somewhere in whatever animated dimension there is, he has this vision of Alton with 3 wands in each hand, like Wolverine claws, just shooting everything when it comes across.
Now, I do have other ones. I just thought I would bring you a selection of what I may or may not be able to do. So this one, and he gestures to the Wand of Magic Missiles, is 8,000 gold.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, which is the Wand of the War Mage, is 1,200 gold.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, the Wand of the Web, is also 8,000 gold.
He looks like a child going seeing if he can get his his toy in the shop. Sort of looks at Tamara.
I mean, I do have a wand of lightning bolts, but I didn't bring that out because it's quite expensive. That's 32,000 gold.
Alton is just like, lightning bolts.
Yeah. We'll perhaps not the lightning bolt.
Can I see it?
If you're not genuinely in the market for it, I'd rather just keep it where it is, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there will be no test running of the wands, Alton. I'm sorry.
You don't make the rules. Does she make the rules?
She is nevertheless correct, unfortunately.
Very well.
In my mind, I'm thinking of, like, is it the good and the bad and the ugly when he makes the pistol in the store and then shoots the owner and robs the place? Puts it together and shoots him.
Zeradius has indeed had these thoughts himself. He too is a fan of the good, the bad, and the ugly.
What of we do have something that's mighty powerful magic, though. By means of perhaps, and he looks at Mara very proud of himself. Perhaps a trade.
Well, trades can always be negotiated, absolutely.
Yeah.
But obviously, you will know that the trade price is going to be less than market price. But I would probably give you a better deal on a trade than if we were talking straight cash.
Mara,
if I was buying something for you, I will give you more as trade in kind than if I just give you straight cash.
And I was just
a few items.
Yes, but I think we all know what the most powerful magical one is.
Do you guys just carry around magical items?
And the thing Alton just sort of, he doesn't even register what Scale just said. He says, Mara, maybe the deck.
No. We still need to figure out things with the deck. It might help with the investigation.
You see his eyes arch, but he doesn't actually say anything at the mention of a deck.
Quick thing, small boy. When you're doing trades, you generally start with the things you want to get rid of that you don't need, and then work your way up. You don't start with the most powerful thing, because that's more valuable than what you're buying. What's the point?
People want to get rid of magical items?
Trade.
Yes.
Often.
Oh.
There's a lot of cursed magical items that you find.
I see.
Oh yes, there's plenty of cursed magical items. I've got a few right at the back if you're interested in those as well, but most people aren't in that sort of trade.
I think we should start off with the more simplistic thing. And Mara will take out the wand that looks like Cyric's wand.
No, please don't.
No, because we got another one that looks like it, and just for him to identify.
It's a rod rather than a wand, but
Yeah.
Mara whips out Cyric's rod and asks for
and
it.
he takes it, and you can see. I mean, Alton would recognise this. He casts an identify spell, so he's obviously a spellcaster of some sort himself. And
I think we didn't need to see that to know that, though.
yeah. Well, you say this is the thing. This is no small thing. Quite powerful, actually, to be honest with you. I think you're doing itself thing. What I could do, I could give you 6,000 for cash or 7,000 for trade.
But is it the same wand? Is what I'm thinking.
Did you identify?
I was asking him to identify it because we've been running.
Oh, you were asking him to identify.
That'll probably cost you money.
Yes. What you said? Sorry, that was me misunderstanding.
Identify spell, 20 gold.
Well, that's what it may be.
Yeah.
He's like, I can identify things if you're unable to yourself, but it's a fixed charge of 50 gold for that.
Mara goes, nah, and she casts identify herself.
My heart.
And he just looks at you curiously.
Mara, as she takes up her holy symbol with the face of Joaquin on it, and then she casts the identify. And this time, instead of the tiny man's, the last time, there's just an eye that appears at the thing, and then tells her what it is.
Yeah, it's exactly the same. Pact of the rod of the Pact Keeper +1.
Would I know if Cyric can
reversed all day today?
Can Cyric dual wield them bad boys? Nope. No. He cannot have two.
I think Cyrix is +2, +1 if I'm right. Are they both? Are all of them plus?
No. They're all +1.
They can't
minus
higher ones, I think.
Oh, you get higher ones, but they're both +1.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a 7,000 for this one because let's say that happens. Now that we know what it is, and then she will stroke her chin.
I remember when we found Cyric's rod, Alton spent a long time with it. He actually had it on his person for a long time, figuring out what it is. And he came, between him and Mara, they came to the conclusion that it was worth 16,000. Just as
it must have been a +2 one that Cyric's got.
Yeah, it says +2 Onyx rod.
Yeah, in 2 seconds.
Then I should edit my stuff.
Yeah. Hold on. Squid, give me access to the sheet real fast. I'll edit his modifier to +2, then +1.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'm glad I still have that note.
Thank you very much.
No problem, man.
Things can go wrong sometimes, or I forget to...
Oh yeah, because I rolled like a 91, 98, I believe,
something
on that roll, so it was
Yeah.
really high. And I found it.
You were really high.
Yeah, so just as soon as I can see his sheet, I'll fix the modifier I made on it.
So, essentially, he's offering 7K for trade, 6K for the item.
Or does it change now that we know that it's a +2?
No.
That's
Cyric's one.
One was the +2.
Cyric's is +2, but the one you found is definitely still just a +1.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
That's good.
Right. I guess I should just...
Apologies.
Right. War.
Why do you guys carry around such powerful magic objects?
We find them.
You just kind of hold on to them?
Yes.
No, we're selling them right now.
Yeah.
Well, now,
We have been
I held
you
on.
have-
of late.
Do you have anything else?
Yes.
A great many things.
Yeah. Let's see. I guess Mara will take out the flail of madness. Who knows? Maybe there was some secret arrangement about certain magical items.
Maybe one of us whispered the other person who has the bag of holding to sell all the shit that we have.
Yeah. But we've not even been to a store. Well, other than the find of acid.
So if you just name this, just the brevity, I guess. If you just name what you're putting on the table
What
rather
are you
than
selling?
one by one.
Yeah, we're flail of madness, the full plate of fire resistance, the chainmail +1, Because
Right,
chainmail is heavy armor, right?
do it one at a time. You're going too quickly for
Yeah.
me still. So the Flail of Madness,
Yes.
he will give you 2,000 gold or 2,500 in trade.
Say 2.5. Full plate fire resistance.
The plate,
This is our
come
first
back
time
to
in
that one.
Magic.
I can't find
It
that
is.
one.
Well,
That's yours. Didn't you make that one yourself?
no. I forget where we got that from. Probably the
Uh,
back then.
Somewhere. No, I think we got it
It was
so long
the
ago.
captain of the Legion, I think, that you killed in
Oh, yeah.
Stonewall.
I thought he just had. No, yeah. No, yeah, it is. That's why I couldn't. Because we were thinking of modding it down to Garvin's size, but
There we go.
he hates doors apparently, so.
Yeah. He would do the same. 2,000 for cash or 2,500 for trade.
Right. Chainmail +1.
Chainmail +1. He would do that for 500 for cash or 600 for trade.
Right. Because remind me, chainmail is heavy armor, right?
Yes.
I got your sheet done, Cyril.
Hmm?
Your sheet's all with the +2 now.
Wonderful. Thanks, man.
Anything else?
Let's see here. Well, we have. I guess I could just identify now the brooch with a picture of a shield on it.
Yeah, we have 2 brooches.
Yeah, well, one of them is a brooch of a shield, and the other one is a brooch with a picture of a shield. Yeah.
Well, can you not just do that yourself? Are you going to?
No, that's what she's doing.
Yeah.
All right, she do.
I have-
Okay. They are both they're slightly different design, but they're both brooches of shielding.
Okay. Right. Well, how much for one of these brooches of shield?
I could do that for 3,500 cash or 4 for trade.
Okay.
I'll keep one of them, Mara.
Sure.
Cyril says.
Do we
Of
have
course.
30,000 yet?
Well, Alton, I don't know if we want to buy the oh shit, not I wouldn't get 6,000 for
Oh,
the.
we definitely do. Yeah.
No, Alton, we don't need the most expensive wand. Maybe other people here would like something, Cyril? Garvin?
Yes, I would. I would like to get a cloak. And Cyril just takes off the shit, the one that he got from the Silicon Bar.
Any? Are you just looking for an ordinary cloak? Otherwise, you could go to one of my neighbours, the tailors, or I can provide some sort of
Something of
enchantment
yours.
to them.
Something
Do you have
else.
anything particular in mind, or would you just like a selection of what may be available?
I also accept tips for ensured safe passage on a boat in the form of magic items.
Mara
Should
looks,
you have too many?
Mara looks at Scale. Do you now? Very
Just-
kind of you.
I mean, the safety of the captain is the safety of the crew.
Of course.
So sorry, I missed what
Well,
Cedric
bring me a
responded with.
selection. I don't know what's.
Well,
kind of magic.
I'll talk you through them just now, and then we can bring out what anything that brings. I can give you now. Let me see. And he sort of taps his horns and sort of plays his finger around it while he's thinking. I have cloaks of elven kind, and with that you are able to be more stealthy if you're trying to hide from somebody. They're 5,000 gold. Simple cloak of protection, which makes it harder for you to hit, be hit or be attacked. They come in various levels of protection, depending on how basic ones 3,500, 7,000 for a more potent one.
A more potent one. Something that would
7,000.
be interesting.
Yes, and for for you as a player, that would be a cloak of protection +2.
Yeah, I thought as much.
Yeah, it gives you +2 to armor class and +2 to saving throws.
That's good.
It's really good.
So, what's with anyone else? Anything else? Anything else?
I think Scale's just gonna leave the store. This is too much money for her. This is just so much money and value being exchanged hands that she's never like, nope, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to know what's going on. This is beyond her, so she's just gonna wait outside.
Scale mentioned that maybe we should get some water breathing potions or something that kind. Water walking, maybe.
Potions. Don't have anything of water walking, but I could do potions of water breathing.
Well, take some of those.
Okay. They come in at... They're 180 gold apiece.
Should we do 6 of those then? Or is that too many, maybe? No. 6 should do.
They allow you to breathe water for an hour at a time, if that's any help.
180 times
Actually,
6.
I think it might be more than that.
4,000 gold.
Is it 8 hours? I think.
If it lasts longer.
It might even be 24. Apologies. We'll get to that when you need to use them.
Yeah, sure.
Let's not.
Let's not dwindle too much.
24 hours, I was right the second time.
Alright.
Right.
That's
So-
good enough.
Currently, Alton, we are looking at that you could pick up a wand for maybe the 8,000 ones, if you're really nice.
Yes.
Okay, good. And Sirik, you wanted the cloak?
Yes.
What did your cloak cost again?
7,000.
7,000. Okay. Garvin, is there anything you wanted?
No.
That's you. Do you want ground?
I would
No.
buy a magical crossbow.
But doesn't he have the hand axe of returning now?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
So Rick casually picks it up and gives it to Garvin.
It would also
Yeah.
be good for Garvin to have, because then if he just goes, no ranged weapon, he'll throw it away.
Salir had a light crossbow in his inventory. So if you need a light crossbow, Salir had one.
What about young Scale? Would she do with an axe?
Hard to say. She ran out with the. I think she's out in the
I
street.
don't know.
Well, I don't know.
Go and
Mara
ask
will
her,
open the
Garvin.
door.
I don't know.
Well, well, keep it just now, and we'll talk about that at
Yeah.
another point.
And we did just meet her, so
Anyway.
maybe we'll see. Let's see. So then,
So is there anything else? So because this is
Yeah.
starting to take a wee bit of time.
Yeah.
Magic missiles is the one he'll go for.
Yep, not a problem.
wasn't that the one for like 2,000?
No.
No, it was the
Yeah,
Wand of the
8,000.
War Mages is only 1,200.
Oh, okay. Right. So then, let's see. If the cloak was 7, the wand was 8, and then the potions.
15.
No,
If you get 6 potions for
16.
180 each.
See, because
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I only actually have 4 available at the moment, so I can only give you 4 potions of water breathing.
That we'll have
Okay.
to do then.
180 times 4.
720.
Yes. Right. Yeah, so that brings us to 20 plus. Let's see.
Wait, the cloak, the potions, and the wand are only 15,720.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Yeah,
15,720.
Oh, the cloak was
7,000.
Oh, I thought you said that the cloak cost 15,000. Like,
No.
No.
So all three together is only 15,720.
yeah. And our current at the 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13. Yeah, so we reach above it anyway. Would you have anything that you might think I would like to buy?
What's our money difference?
Let's see.
What's our trade-in? What's our current trade-in value?
Let's see. So the warlock was 7,000. The flail.
Welcome to Saviours DND.
Yeah.
Spreadsheet edition.
I saw you writing it down, so I didn't bother. I should have written it down.
I did. 1610. 16,100.
Okay, so it's only a 400 gold difference, roughly.
Yeah, but we also have lots of gold in our pocket.
Yeah.
Well, we've got other healing potions. We have potions of invisibility. I have some of the items from the... I don't know if you're aware of the brand, the catalogue of slightly magical merchandise. So
we're well aware of that.
Yeah, we will need... How much was it for a pack of those gummy bears?
I think it was
Vitamin bear.
a gold, yeah.
If we have it here somewhere. I did write it.
Yeah, you just said a gold.
10 gold per gummy bear. So... Oh, 10
gold
per 10.
10 gold, yes, I was right. It was a gold each.
We do have a bag of those already.
Yeah, but you need your vitamins.
I've got fun things from them as well. I've got things like what would I be able to give you from there?
Do we want to just get these items now, save this 400 gold that we have difference, and then come back next week and say what we bought?
Yeah,
We can do that.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. One of those.
Rather than spend another 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
And you pass it over. You get the 400 difference. Do you take it in a promissory note? Otherwise, because he says if you don't take something for it, then obviously some of the values of the things that I've got were less if it's gold. So you might as well take a potion or two because it's basically free. Otherwise, you'll not be taking any cash.
Why not?
I mean,
Really?
sure. I was just looking if there might be an item that would be useful to a cleric. That's all I was thinking.
That's fine. Well, we'll come back and you can see and choose a couple of potions because a lot of them are like 180 gold.
Berserker.
Or because we still have other stuff we need to sell if we need. So if you find something we can...
I'll just look around.
About that in the off time.
Yeah.
And I think
Shopping episode.
Yeah,
Brooch of shield.
I would never have thought that
Going to a magic shop would turn into a shopping episode.
Well, I thought Mara would be a bit more prepared after she foreshadowed it last week. That's all.
I thought we were going here to buy a wand. Not
Yeah, but
trade.
you didn't think you would want anything?
No, I don't buy anything.
Well, there we go then.
Not a plus one.
I think you make your farewells, and he wishes you farewell, and you make your way back to the inn for the evening. I think that's maybe break time, shall we say?
Sure.
Sounds good.
It's no problem. We were back in approximately 10 minutes time.
If Tara thinks of anything during the break, we'll just bring that up real quick and then deal with it then.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for coming. We'll see you in
Yes.
5 or 10 minutes.
We'll be back.